Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Karpo Gaming and another Borderlands 3 video. Well, we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Maliwan Blacksite is here, so we have the new update. Update 1.07. Coming just a little bit over 1 megabyte, but boy, oh boy, does it have so much in here that we have to get into. So let's hop right into it. As always, I will be leaving a link down below as well as time-stamping it so you can hop right into the lovely patch notes yourselves. Now for the new notes for patch number 4, update 1.07, new content. Takedown at the Maliwan Blacksite. L'Oreal has recruited the Vault Hunter to destroy a top-secret weapon, Maliwan, that has been developing at their Blacksite. You and your squad should prepare for an extreme challenge because this content is balanced for 4 players at level 50. You can gain access to the Blacksite via a mission found on Sanctuary 3 after completing the main campaign with that character. Takedowns feature special rules not found in the rest of the game. Respawning is disabled, so make sure you and your co-partners get second win or you'll spectate until the team wipes. If you do die, you not out permanently though. Die during the first half, you'll get to rejoin your team if they defeat the Valkyrie squad. If you're out the second half, but your team managed to defeat Wotan the Invincible, you'll get to respawn to enjoy the rewards you didn't completely earn. Now, make sure your squad is in the session before you throw the switch inside the airlock, or anyone who joins after the switch is thrown joins as a spectator. Now for Mayhem Mode 4. It is here for players looking for the toughest challenge in the game. Mayhem 4 adds another increase to enemy health, increase the loot drop chances, and adds a set of new legendaries. Because the health value greatly increased, Mayhem 4 is also slightly adjusted modifier system. Mayhem 4 will only roll one perspective modifier for the player and one enemy bonus modifier. We want players to try different builds without severely hampering their ability to take down enemies in Mayhem 4. Note that Mayhem 1 through 3 are unchanged. In addition to increasing enemy health and adjusting the modifiers, Mayhem 4 contains new legendary weapons and class mods for players to hunt. These new pieces of gear will contribute to new builds and new ways to kill enemies. To support Mayhem 4, we changed the Mayhem station slightly. Players will activate them through the center pillar and increase or decrease Mayhem levels by using the pillars on each side. Looking forward, we will monitor the changes of Mayhem 4 closely. We're working hard on Mayhem 2.0, which will add brand new gameplay additions to Mayhem modes in the future. Until then, hope you enjoy the challenge and the new loot. Now for bank expansions. All characters now begin the game with 20 bank slots instead of 10. The existing bank SDU will give everyone a total of 100 available slots. An additional 10 bank SDUs are available through purchase in Market's shop on Sanctuary 3 using the in-game cash currency, each awarding you 20 spaces for a grand total of 300 total bank spaces. Now for dedicated loot pools for bosses. All bosses have been updated with new loot pools that give them dedicated legendary items to drop. Players can now discover which bosses drop their favorite gear and more easily farm their favorite items. Let the hunt begin. Now for additional vending machines. The following environments have received additional vending machines. They can typically be found before bosses or the midway waypoint through larger environments. We have Athena's Atlas Headquarters, Electra City, Jacob's Estate, Roche's Canopy, Tenderizer Ruins, and the Pyre of the Stars. Now for the target dummy. Players can now take out their aggression and test out their gear on Handsome Jack, target inside the shooting range in Sanctuary 3. In-game character balance. For this patch, we've adjusted many passive involving companions such as Iron Bear, Digiclone, and Flat Pets in general. We wanted to increase their viability for later levels in Mayhem while also targeting some passives that were underperforming compared to some others. Iron Bear saw increase to the base scaling and additional bonuses were added through passive and augments. We allowed some of Zane's kill skill bonuses to stack up 2 times, increasing their output under certain conditions. Flat Pets now saw some increase over level to their damage so that they didn't feel underpowered in Mayhem modes, and we are currently happy with the variety of Immortal builds. We are always allowing and waiting monitoring feedback to adjust it if necessary. So for modes, ladies and gentlemen, Iron Bear damage increase per level to a total of just under 150 at max level. Desperate Measure now give Iron Bears the bonus 2. Experimental Mutation, the Iron Bear also deals bonus fire damage on crit hits. Scorching RPMs also grant increased hardpoint damage by 5% per level. Vampire, when Iron Bear deals area damage, Iron Bear receives half the healing bonus. Iron Bear now launches barrels when the player melees them. Increase Iron Barrel bubble shields from 20% to 50% of most health. Now for Zane. Sentinel damage scale increased by 2% for level. Danny Brook, pocket full of grenades. Cool Hand, violence, and violent speed bonuses now stacked twice. Fix violent momentum to scale more at higher momentum speeds. Now for best circle radius and damage increased by 2% per level. Confidence increase max weapon and damage bonus from 20% to 35%. Change Trick of the Lightning Elemental to Cairo and increase bonus from 18% to 36%. Borrow time duration increased from 15% to 30% per active skill. Double barrel bonus increased from 20% to 25%. Quick Breath now restores 50% of the clone health after the swap. Pocket full of grenade bonus slightly decreased from 6.5 to 5% as it now stacks. Violent Violence bonus slightly decreasing from 4% to 3% as it now stacks. Now for Flak. Ambush Predator now has a HUD icon when the buff is active. Increase the pet damage scale of 10/5% per level instead of 9%. Added pet damage to Grim Harvest by 7% per level. Added pet damage to the most dangerous game by 9% per level. Added the pet damage to interplanetary target by 1% per stack. Added pet damage to Furious Attack at 0% per stack. And added pet damage to Fast and Furious at 10% per level. Lick the Wounds gain a pet damage buff after receiving the player. Increase pet damage to a Psycho Head on Stigma from 10% to 20%. Increase damage to pet taxes from 5% to 7% for level. And address a Mega Erove to not reward critical hit bonus when receiving damage from self-damage. Now for stability. Fix multiple crashes that occasionally occurred when interacting with the Echo menu. Fix the crash occasionally occurred after quitting to the main menu multiple times. Also when transitioning to Athena during a 4-player multiplayer session. Also, when Iron Bear was destroyed, they fixed that crash. Fixed the crash that occasionally occurred when entering or exiting Iron Bear while in heavy combat with Varix. In network games, when split screen party joins another game during Marcus intro, occurring when a split screen user quits the main menu when dropping a piece of gear on PC. Also occasionally occurring after 3 clients join the host, when destructible environments art took damage, when a client transitions to Desolation Edge, also when entering Fadeaway, also at the time and day of the environment, also as a result of improper text fields. Fix the crash related to the minimap widget. Fix multiple crashes that occasionally occur while players fast travel. Fix the report issue that prevents the application from terminating properly. Fix the proper reported issue from the news widget that would hang indefinitely, and also disable the benchmark feature when in co-op group. Now for UI. Improve overall performance in the menus. No, we are still working on additional performance updates that will be implemented in the future updates. So we have improved performance on the bank. PlayStation 4 only. Fixed the reported issue that prevented some players from marking items as junk or favorited on PlayStation 4. Address the reported issue where sorting the inventory by type sometimes sorted the inventory by score. Added sort by rarity to bank inventory. Item trading and vending machine selling. Item clients now receive an indication of why their travel attempt failed. Update names in the credits. Address of reported issue where corrupted characters were sometimes displayed for some fast travel stations in Japanese and simplified Chinese. Address the reported issue where characters were sometimes displayed in the incorrect direction for some fast travel station and level transition in traditional Chinese. Address the reported issue where comparing class mods sometimes displayed the incorrect icons on the abbreviated item card. Also reported an issue where some items could sometimes overlap when viewing player storage, and also when the travel countdown timer could sometimes be interrupted by opening the chat window. That has been fixed too. PC only reported an issue where occasional mouse input could be lost. Also addressed a reported issue where item cards at the beginning of the game didn't display, and also where missions were sometimes not sorting correctly in the mission log. Also addressed a reported issue where the friends list could occasionally be too long for split screen. Also where a player could sometimes lose their HUD in split screen. Also where the info panel briefly displayed when looking at the planet challenges. and also where players could sometimes be sent the wrong location when selecting a destination quickly in the map, and address the rare issue where a dialog box could not be dismissed. Now for missions. Address the reported issue that could sometimes cause NPCs to get stuck during a teleport. Address the reported progression blocker where NPC leading the players could sometimes break if one player left the game. Address the reported progression blocker where little could sometimes become stuck during the mission from the ground up. Also, a progression blocker that occasionally occurs when two players try to accept the quest item at the same time from the slot machine during the mission Sanctuary. Also addressed a few reported progression blockers that occasionally occurred when traveling to another map and back during the mission Sanctuary. Address a reported progression blocker where L'Oreal Cyclone could sometimes be lost after a player enter and exit the menu during the mission Hostile Takeover. Address the reported progression blocker where the door into Kilovolt's arena sometimes would not open during the mission Kilovolt. Address the reported progression blocker where Amar Labs could sometimes spawn during the mission Dynasty Diner and leave the combat area. Address the reported progression blocker where Bloodshine Sister could sometimes not spawn during the mission Proof of Wife. Address the reported progression blocker why Ray's Ball could sometimes become stuck during the mission Space Laser Tag. Address the reported progression blocker where Brick could sometimes become stuck in the concrete block during the mission Hammer Lock. Address the reported progression blocker where the Tina sometimes couldn't be spoken to during the mission Hammer Locked. Pretty nice so far. Address the reported progression blocker where Billy the Annoying would sometimes disappear during the mission Lyra the Harpy. Address the reported progression blocker where split screen clients could sometimes not be progressing the object Quick Block Flame during the mission Witch's Brew. Address the reported progression blocker where Badlex could sometimes stop paving during the mission Family Jewel. Address the reported progression blocker where Tannis sometimes could not be spoken to during the mission Great Fall. Address the reported progression blocker where Tannis sometimes wouldn't interact with a critical mission objective during the mission In the Shadow of Starlight. Address the reported progression blocker where Tink sometimes would jump inside the barrier during the mission Trial of the Fever, and address the reported mission progression blocker during the mission Trial of the Survival. Now for gameplay. Rare Hunt and bounty enemies now always match the player's level. Made adjustment to default zoom speed for gameplay. Mayhem mods that cancel each other out can no longer be active at the same time. Shields that start regenerating immediately after depleting now properly trigger no deflating events. These are a bunch of nerfs if you didn't know. Okay, and here we go. Modes is no longer able to infinitely stack the damage, health, and shield regen buff of the Brawl Award Legendary Shield after equipping the Bloodletter class mod. Okay, Rough Rider shield properly triggers deplete augments when equipped. Address the reported issue where certain shields could provide buffs to players even when not equipped. Players can no longer stack the health regeneration buff of the Brawl Award Legendary Shield on another shield when repeatedly equipping and unequipping the Brawl Award shield in the inventory. Address the reported issue where class mods and artifacts were sometimes the kill-making action skill cooldown when re-speccing. Address the reported issue where Hellwalker anointed parts could sometimes be incorrectly weighed. Address the reported issue that sometimes prevented the Zane barrier from blocking E-Tech weapon projectiles, and address the reported issue where flak pets could sometimes be frozen without showing any the effects of being frozen. Address the reported issue in the action skill cooldown timer for flags and Gammon bursts could sometimes stack cooldowns when players revive or spawn a pet each time. Reported a rejection issue in the skill augment active taking for mode sometimes didn't target enemies in turret. Address the reported issue where the Mayhem modifier sometimes failed to activate Iridium Game. Address the reported issue where parts of the anvil were sometimes not properly balanced. Address the reported issue where the Mother of the Dragon sometimes would not drop her loot. Address the reported issue where rare spawn enemies might not have spawned during the mission if players have already defeated that enemy during the session. Also address the reported issue where loot sometimes will not spawn after players had found all Iridian writings. Now for generals. DX12 now is the default graphics of API Windows 10 for users with AMD video cards. Added support for future types of hotfixes. Added a spectator mode for takedown. Explosion effects now dissipate faster. Bullet tracers passing through Zane shields are now more transparent. Improve the general audio performance and memory usage. Save games triggered by money or challenges in the inventory have been throttled. Address the reported issue where save files from the potential to be deleted after the game crash into the middle of saving. Address the reported issue where Guardian Ring and tokens could potentially be lost. Address the reported issue where equipping weapon skins were sometimes not properly displayed. Also address the reported issue where echo themes were sometimes not displayed properly for co-op players. Address the reported issue where Clay and Wainwright Jacobs were sometimes not appear properly in their title cards. Address the reported issue where a boundary turret in Flood Mount Basin would sometimes not detect Iron Bear. Address the reported issue where Iron Bear could sometimes fall through the platform during a Grave War fight. Address the reported issue where players would sometimes lead into the Tangerine Ruin facing in one direction. Address the reported issue where sometimes players could become invincible while swapping artifacts, and that was an exploit that has been fixed as well. Address the reported issue where Rat could sometimes get stuck behind geometry in the Cistern of the Solder. Reports the reported issue where players could rejoin the arena in Cistern of the Solder after dying. Address the reported issue where depth of field would sometimes not work properly in the split screen. Address the reported issue where the player's shield bar could sometimes disappear from the HUD. Address the reported issue in the vault where the vault symbol on the loading screen sometimes appeared incorrectly on consoles. Also address a reported issue where the events were occasionally not working properly if EchoCast was not enabled before loading into the map. Address a multiple issue with badass events not spawning in certain maps for the Switch EchoCast extension. Address a reported issue that prevented stats from sometimes properly incrementing while in vehicles. Address a reported issue where service bot audios would sometimes ignore acoustic data. Address a reported issue where player characters could sometimes call out health vials while already at max level. And address multiple issue where audios were sometimes muffed or lost. Address multiple issue where players will sometimes lose gravity permanently. That was fun. That has been fixed. And last but not least, edit group hint is now hidden when input is not available. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, only a little bit over a gigabyte update, but man, was it a lot in here. We got a lot. We have a lot of exploits that has been fixed, which is always a good thing. We have Mayhem Mode 4 and Takedown at the Maliwan site. So I need to get back on this fix. I hope you truly enjoyed the video. Try to get through all of these patch notes as fast as possible. So if you're still here, as always, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you really want to help out the channel in the video, because it really does help, you can do so by liking the video if you indeed like the video. Don't forget I upload daily Borderlands 3 videos, so turn on that bell notification and stay up to date for more Borderlands 3 videos. And as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.